Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Summoner's Glory video. Damn, if you have not yet started playing this game with us, come and join us. I've been playing it on stream the last few streams. I've been doing a couple of videos on it, and I've got to say I'm totally hooked on this game. This video, we're going to go through the best phantoms that you can draw in the game, talk you through how to use them and why they should be part of your squad. Also within this game, it's so much easier to get like the top tier phantoms. The devs really want you to play with the cool stuff. So I'll show you how to go about trying to get some of those top tier phantoms as well. Before we go into that, let me just show you how to get into the game if you're a newbie. So I'm playing here on BlueStacks. You can play on your phone. It's on Android. It's on iOS. I'll put down below the links to Android and iOS, and I'll also put an APK for people that aren't playing in countries where it's been fully released and you can get involved. I'm playing on server 5, which is the Hades server. Yes, it's the Hades server. Come and get involved. This is a brand new server, literally launched like 4 days ago. So we're not playing with the hyper whales that have got crazy accounts and been playing the game forever. Everyone's on like a clean slate. It's a really cool experience. When you first log in the bottom left-hand corner, you want to use the passcode HELL. If you use the passcode HELL, you're going to get basically this pack here in the top right. An SS tier phantom. That's the best level of phantom that you can get. And this particular dude, he's a reasonable one. He's not going to be a top tier, but he's going to help you through all of the early game. You also get some energy, you get some gold, you get some extra summoning books to try your luck with extra phantoms. But if you use HELL when you're creating your summoner, you're going to get yourself a nice few goodies. And I will also get a couple of goodies myself. Thank you very much. So I'm just going to quickly show you a couple of things before I get into the phantoms. Firstly, if this is the first video you've seen on this, there is a battle assistant that can go off and farm what you might consider the more boring content, or just farm your XP and stuff whilst you're doing something else, or whilst you're away from computer. So I can literally go in here, set my farms up, come back in, and I gain runes for being AFK or for going and doing other stuff in the game. It's a really, really cool feature of the game. Another thing is they've got this idle mode. Basically, every 24 hours or within a 24-hour period, you can just be like, I've been AFK, but I want to be rewarded for being AFK. Hit the receive and get a bunch of goodies for that as well. The other thing I'm going to call out is this is a community game. Yeah, there's a instance that I can run into here. Literally, you go in as a team of 3. You can do it solo, but it's easier and more fun if you go in as a group. There's also really cool kind of guilds in this game. So I'm part of the Gallifrey guild. If you come and join us, again, I'll pin below the Gallifrey Discord. We've got now 3 guilds, Gallifrey 1, 2, and 3. We'll put a 4th one up if we need to. But basically, this is the lifeblood of your game. There's 100 in each guild. And, you know, you group together to do things. You gain advantages for being in these guilds. And this game is absolutely aimed at being a game you play with other people. Yeah, we've got a friends list. I can DM any of my friends. We can chat in the open world chat system. Like, it's meant to be a game that you play together, not just a solo game. So a lot of the information I'm going to call out here, I've been learning from the people that have played the game for a long time. Yeah. And these people have got channels as well. So you should go and check them out. J-Town, Dan Howman, The Higher Standard, Ad Hocs. They all put out Summoner Glory videos, and they've all got a good understanding and good knowledge of the game. So I'm going to go through the best champions, the best phantoms in this game. I've already done a video about how to upgrade your phantoms quickly and effectively. Let's talk about the best ones. I've got some of the best ones, and I guess I'll show you a quick kind of fight around how a team comp looks, and then we kind of go through the different roles of that team comp. So here we are on the first boss. So basically, I've got Clock. Clock is my initiator. He is my speed booster. He is my arbiter in the Summoner Glory world. I've got Drac, is my main damage dealer. I've got Haley, who withdraws turn meter or attack bar, they call it in this game, from my enemy. And then I've got a finisher in Lord of Shadows. And basically, that's a decent style of team comp in full. So you kind of want someone who's going to push your phantoms forward. You want someone who is going to basically control the enemy. You want someone who's going to absolutely nuke. And then ideally, you want either single target high level damage, or you want another kind of AoE nuker. You can just go out with like a full control team, but it's less effective at the moment with the current meta. So how do you get these powerful champions, the phantoms? there's a few ways, and again, I'm going to go through them, but there's a few ways that you can do it. You can go into the Phantom Abode, and you can actually go and farm phantoms that you want. So some of the ones I'm going to talk about here today, Prometheus, Haley, Merlin, they're actually farmable. Once you complete the levels, you can go in and get the SS tier versions of these dudes or fragments of these dudes and literally farm up copies of the best phantoms. The rarest of them and hardest to get, you can actually find in the Royal Trove. So for a very cheap amount of diamonds, you can refresh this. Wait until you find up here, and we'll go through them in a bit. Bloody Overlord, which is this dude. Puppeteer, Zoe, Ancaris, King Arthur. They're probably the 5 really that you want to look for. And then you go and farm your keys and you draw and try and win the lottery basically and get yourself your favorite, very rare SS tier ones from the Royal Trove. And then obviously you can use shard pools and what have you as well to grab them. They do events where some of these very rare phantoms come up for grabs from time to time. And there is also in the shop, if you look at phantoms, go into the crystals. So every time you pull a epic summoning book, you gain 6 crystal shards, which help you towards picking out a phantom that you want. So I've got 2 big crystals so far. I need 4 for the biggest dude in here, 3 for the second one. This would be a skill book for my clock. And there's also gold ones. So just for pulling gold books, you gain these gold shards. And again, I can buy up copies of people that I want. So if I want to book out Prometheus, who's awesome, then it's only 100 gold shards to just buy one. There's a ton of ways to get this without actually spending in the game, which is cool. So let's get into it. Let's get into the best ones. So the 2 best initiators in the game. We've got Astral Clock. Everybody gets this dude at like level 10 or something. As you're leveling up, he becomes a prize. Do not feed him. Do not get rid of him. Lock him straight away. He goes straight into your team. So the priority skill for him is his A3 here. Increases the attack bar, which is your turn meter, of the rest of the team by 25% and grants some control immunity for a turn. As soon as this is gone, you can't be CC'd. And honestly, it just makes the rest of your team have a turn. 25%, you book him, could go all the way up to 40%. Means that you can run the rest of your team much slower, but with more damage or more accuracy or whatever you need to make the comp work. But this dude is like first on the team sheet and you get him for free. Absolutely awesome phantom. He's also got a nice heal and a damage buff if you don't kill people on the first hit. And he's got an A1, which absolutely smacks. You'd think this dude is just a support hero, but he actually does damage based on his max HP. So you just want to build him with extremely fast, with high HP, and a bit of crit if you can. And this guy smacks. But it's mainly all about speed with this guy. Get him going first so that your team will win the race. If for whatever reason you don't want to use him, let's say you've lost your mind and you don't want to use him, there's actually one other very good initiator, which is Sea Conqueror. She kind of does it in a different way, though. She uses her... So she increases attack bar of the rest of the team by 20%. And then her A2 has got this absorbs all enemies attack bars by 25%. So she's basically slowing down the enemy. And then she can also speed your team up. So she's another good initiator. I've seen both of them run on the same team before. But in my opinion, you don't need that. You need one or the other. And then you build your team into doing damage. So probably the most desired phantom in the game, because she's pretty unique. I don't have her right now. Puppeteer. Puppeteer is top tier in this game. She is available from that trove. She sits in there sometimes. I've seen people get her. But she's the only phantom right now that can reduce the defenses of the enemy. So when you get towards the late game, you get into some of the late game instances, dropping the enemy's defense before your nuker goes is absolutely key. So Puppeteer does this really well with her A2 here. So if you're going to choose which skill to book out, this is going to be the one to do. But yeah, it basically reduces physical and magical defense by 30% for 2 turns. She's also got a revive on her A3. So there's not that many phantoms with revives. So she's kind of got double use. But yeah, very, very cool phantom. Easily in the top tier. So the next one I'm going to talk about is Haley. Haley is on my team right now. So she has got an A2, which has got an attacks all enemy. And basically, she is able to absorb the attack bar of the enemy. So she's just pushing back their turn meter, giving herself more turns, and obviously enabling your damage dealers to have a bit more time to get their work done. Means you can pump up your damage whilst you can kind of use her to slow the enemy down. You want to make sure you've got accuracy in her build. You want to make sure that she's fast. My one right now didn't even work. She's too slow for my team, but eventually we'll get that sorted. But yeah, fast runes with good accuracy. Okay, another one who's a good one as a kind of like control champion, King Arthur. Very rare champion. Is going to be, or Phantom, sorry, is going to be buffed in the next patch. But this dude's got an AoE taunt. Again, you can kind of book this up to 100% chance to taunt. So this becomes his main ability, really, his A2 here, Royal Edge. So he does a fair chunk of damage, but basically he's got all of the attacks coming in against him. He's one of the few tanks in the game, and I hope they kind of move the game more towards needing tanks and different roles rather than just damage. But yeah, King Arthur does that role really well. So another control champ, we've got Alice. Alice has got an A2 here, so able to put Paralyze on all enemies for 1 turn. Also got an A3, which has got the chance to put Confusion for 1 turn. So basically 2 control abilities, A2 and A3. She's really good if you pair her with Zeus, who then does more damage, absolutely nukes when Paralyze is out there. I'll show you his kit in a sec. I guess the other one to call out as a control champion, King of Mardrad. Again, does that same type of role. On his A2 here, it's got a chance to freeze the enemy for a turn. And again, it just kind of slows them down, gives you a chance to get your damage away. So let's talk about the big boys. Let's talk about the damage dealers. Let's call out Zoe then, Goddess Zoe. Extremely rare Phantom, very hard to get, so very hard to skill book. She's got a big AoE hit, and she's also got a cool passive. So whenever a teammate takes a turn, they restore 10% of their health, and that books up to 16%. We're not really in a meta where she makes a lot of sense right now, but some way down the line, I think she'll come back to being God tier. So Zoe is extremely valuable to have, even if you don't kind of book her out and get her going right now. Next one on the group. This is quite a common champion to get, Prometheus. And as I said earlier, you can actually go and farm this dude. He is a great early to mid game nuke. He will carry you through all content with a big old AoE. I'm using him in my fire tower right now. And this is his main ability here. Lava Burst summons a fire jet to attack 4 enemies. It's an absolute nuke. It's got massive multipliers on it. So Prometheus is a big smack. We have also got ourselves, where is he? Zeus. So I spoke about Zeus pairing with Alice. Zeus does a lot of damage if paralyzing is already out there. So he can put paralyze out himself, and then his passive just means that he's going to do additional damage when paralyze is out there. A slightly different damage dealer. This dude does damage based on his max HP, and he also can do insane damage against bosses. So what does he do? He hits multiple times against random enemies. If there's only a boss up, he'll put all of those hits into that enemy. He can literally one-shot bosses with this move. And as you book him out, he does more damage based on his max HP. So Lord of Shadows, big nuker, but in a slightly different way. We've got Bloody Overlord, considered probably the best damage dealer in the game right now. What's he got here? He's got this Blood Boil. So grants the next user, and it can be himself, 30% extra attack and a full attack bar. So he just goes again. And he also, he loses HP for doing it. But his A3 deals extra damage based on the amount of HP that he's lost. So he basically hurts himself, goes again, and then drops this absolute cannon on the enemy. It should one-shot most waves. Bloody Overlord, quite hard to book, but you can get him from that Royal Trove. Absolute beast of a champion. Next one up, Master Merlin. Farmable Phantom. So you can go and grab this guy from the abode. He does damage. He's got this massive 12 hitter. 12 hits. And he does magic damage, also absorbing attack bar. This is cool if you just got one single target, and he will absolutely pulverize that target into the ground. So Merlin, big damage dealer, big multipliers. Dracula, this is my current nuker. Massive AoE hit on his A2. He's also got some self-built sustain. So if you've got slightly longer fights, he can keep himself going. But he is one of the hardest hitters in the game with his AoE. Got no one to call out here, Dracula Eye. He's actually a bit more of a common Phantom to get, quite easy to get. And he's got a really good A2. So it does a lot of damage. Attacks an enemy three enemies 4 times. You should probably take down the enemies with this ability if you book him out. but also he's absorbing attack bars. So he rotates around to his next ability really quick. So for a low cost, pretty common Phantom, Dracula Eye is definitely worth a shout out. Okay, so 2 to go. Ancaris, she is an absolute beast. Only trouble with Ancaris is she needs 2 turns to get her damage off. So she kind of sets up her own damage, and then she absolutely nukes. So she boosts her own physical damage, and then she brings out the crazy 6-hitter, which is just nuking all over the place. Really, really fun top tier Phantom. And actually, this is one of those ones that you can pick up for being a big spender. So the more money you spend, the more copies you get of Ancaris. This is for the whales, I guess, for the people that kind of want to get into the game super quick. But you can pull Ancaris from Phantom skill books as well. And you can get Ancaris out of the raw trove. So obtainable outside of the big spender stuff, but people can just pick her up really quick. So the last one I'm going to call out then. I've not seen this guy in action, but I've heard that he is a beast. Ripper. I think he's the only Phantom in the game that has got a full team resurrect. So this is pretty damn cool. But he's also got an absolute nuke on this A2. If you put it out, damage increases to 330% of his magic damage. He's also doing a full cleanse whilst he does it. And he can play sleep. This is like full damage, full control, take a nap. How you feeling? This dude, probably one of the rarest in the game. I don't even know if you can get this guy from the Royal Trove. I don't think that you can. But absolute beast of a Phantom. So there you go, guys. As I say, go and check out some of the other creators of this game. They probably know more than I do. But I'm picking it up as quick as I can. Really enjoying it. I hope you come and join me as well. Don't forget to use promo code HELL when you get started. I've been Hell Hades. I will see you later.